Hi, my name is Kevin Fernandez and welcome to my channel, Gamers Genie. Today we're going to learn the spooky, bewitching game, Maiden Voyage. It's a two-player game designed by and published by Golden Chalice Entertainment. Let's go back in time to Salem, Massachusetts, where people are being prosecuted left and right as witches. Little do they know that some of these witches are real. Will we be able to survive and hopefully take out a couple of the other groups of witches with us? Let's find out together as we go to the table to learn to play Maiden Voyage. The deck pile is the location where each player will place their decks face down. Spell cards must be separated from the deck before the deck is placed in its space. The spell pile is the location where each player will place their spell pile face down. Each deck contains 6 spell cards, and you place that right there. Witch placements, these 3 sections marked on the location where each witch should be placed during the match play. So here, here, and here. The small box below each of these locations mark the intended area for the 20-sided dice that will be used to keep track of the particular witch's health. So these 3 dice down here will keep track of your witch's health. The satchel is where each player must place their herb cards that have yet to be grounded, as well as the elixir cards that have yet to be crafted. Each player may also place an alembic or the mortar and pestle in their satchel. And the satchel, for those of you who don't know where that is down here off camera, below your 3 witches. So I made that as a choice to not show that on camera, the big blank space, if they are not being used by one of the 3 witches currently placed on the field of play. Tool placements, these 3 selections placed directly above each of the witches' placements mark the placement for the tool card that will be equipped to a particular witch. Magic circle area is at this location where the magic circle will be placed once it becomes activated by a particular witch. Graveyard. This location right here is known as the graveyard. It is here where each witch that dies during a match must be played. It is also the location where any tool card must be played following its expiration. And that completes the setup. Choose your starting lineup. Select 3 witches and place them on the field in their positions. Each player must select 1 high priestess and 2 initiates. Each player must then select 1 from the deck and equipment to all the allied witches of their choice. They must then do the same thing with the mortar and pestle card from their deck, then again with the alembic card from their deck. Okay, so basically what it means is a high priestess is has a black circle, and the initiates have white circles. And you must always have your mortar and pestle and your alembic. Plus, you can also have a wand equipped to 1 of the 3 witches. Each player draws 5 cards. If a player is unsatisfied with their starting hand, they may reshuffle their deck and redraw a starting hand of 5 cards. This can only be done once. Note, at no point can a player have more than 9 cards in their hand by the end of their current turn. Once it is decided who will go first, the match has officially begun. Once this step has been completed, the two opponents must duel to decide who goes first. The duels accomplished by each player rolling a six-sided die. That would be this die. There's also one that's black, but I can't guarantee that they're going to look the same once this game has been fully funded. The high roller being the winner. The winner must then choose if they would like their turn to be first or second. If the winner chooses to go second, they start the match with 6 cards rather than 5. For the first 3 full turns of the match, no combat may be initiated. This allows each player some time to set up a particular strategy in regards to what tools their witches are equipped with. It also gives each player time to ground any herbs that they may have drawn during the first few turns of the match. There are certain phases that take place during your turn. The first phase is the draw phase. You draw a card from your deck. If you have a magic circle active, you must decide if you would rather draw a card from your deck or if you would like to roll for synchronicity. We'll talk more about this process later. The prep phase. During this phase, the controlling player must first implement any reoccurring effects from the grimoires or idols that are currently active, adjust magic circle counter if necessary, discard any idol or grimoire that have now expired, untap allied witches that are not currently paralyzed, protected, or equipped with an active grimoire or idol. Once that has been done, it is at this point that you have the option to summon a witch to the field, but we have 3 out right now, so we don't need to. Equip a witch with a tool card, like how we have 3 tools already equipped, or use an elixir. Don't currently, let's see if I can find what that looks like, so I can give you guys at home what this looks like. Here we go. Oops. Here's a health potion. This is one of the elixirs that you can use. Don't forget, once a witch has entered the battlefield, it cannot be swapped for another witch that is in your hand. A witch can be equipped with a tool card on the same turn it was summoned to the field, but a witch cannot activate a tool card on the same turn that it was equipped. The only exception to this rule is with satchel items, so anything that's down in this out of shot space. A tool card that is equipped to an allied witch may be swapped for a different tool card that is in your hand, as long as it is not an active grimoire or idol. Now we're at the action phase. It is at this point in a player's turn that they may tap a witch to activate their equipped tool card or activate their particular witch's path ability. Once a witch has completed their action phase, they must state in some form or another that they are now ending their turn. Each witch is comprised of the following 5 characteristics. Number 1, health points. The amount of health points contained by a particular witch prior to battle. A witch's health cannot raise above the original health point of capacity. Okay, so this witch will always be 16. Juniper will always be 16. Victoria will always be 16. And Abigail will always be 18. And no, I'm not saying that is just some random girl's fantasy. Absorbency rating. The absorbency rating of a witch decides the damage output of a wand once activated by a particular witch. If one of your witches is attacked by an opposing witch, you may choose if you would like to attempt absorption. Absorption is where one of the witches being attacked by an opposing witch, and you would like to refute the incoming damage. To attempt absorption, simply tap your witch that is being attacked. If an absorption attempt is made, the players must duel. The attacker wins, the damage is dealt, and the witch that tapped must immediately untap. But let's say we are the defender. So if we win, the damage is not dealt, and the witch that was unsuccessfully attacked may immediately untap. So if Abigail wasn't successfully attacked, she can just untap. Don't forget, absorption can only be attempted if the witch being attacked is not currently tapped. Absorption can only be attempted when an opponent is attacking with the wand. A particular witch can only be attacked once per turn, regardless of whether the damage was successfully inflicted. Each witch is either an initiate or a high priestess. The main difference between the initiate and the high priestess is the latter. Usually bears a higher health range. Each witch has a bloodline that corresponds with a particular wand type, which allows them to option to activate their hidden power of the one. There are 3 different blood types. If it has a red and blue blood drop, the wand corresponds with the primordial wands. If it has the purple and green blood drop, this wand corresponds with the elemental wands. And if it has the red and black blood drop, the wand corresponds with the celestial wands. So this one has a green and purple one, which means that it corresponds with the elemental. Wands are a witch's main force of attack. The damage output of the one that is decided by absorbency rating of the witch that wields it. If the damage is successfully inflicted by the witch with privilege, the controlling player may choose to activate their special ability if the wand recently used by the attacking witch. If you have a primordial wand equipped, it paralyzes the witch that was most recently attacked for 1 turn. If you have the elemental, you deal 1 damage to the witch that was most recently attacked. And if you have the celestial, then you just draw a card. Since we have the elemental wand, we would deal 1 extra damage to a witch that was most recently attacked. A player that attempts to use one of the special abilities must then defeat their opponent in a duel. If the attacker wins, the effect of the special ability occurs. If the defender wins, the effect does not occur, and the failed wand breaks. This is sent to the controlling player's graveyard. Idols last for 3 turns. The effect of an idol takes place upon activation, but also reoccur at the beginning of each prep phase. The controlling player's turn for as long as the idol is active. An active idol can be broken if the opponent successfully inflicts damage on the witch that is tapped. The idol, for this damage to be successfully inflicted, the attacking player must defeat the defending player in a duel. Once a witch is targeted by a staff that becomes activated, that witch remains the target of the staff as long as the staff remains active. Grimoires last 3 turns as well. The workings of the grimoire mimic the workings of an idol. A witch that is equipped with an active grimoire is protected from any form of attack as long as the grimoire remains active. Unlike grimoires and idols, vile weapons only last for 1 turn. Vile weapons are deemed as so because they induce physical damage rather than magical damage. The effects of a vile weapon take place upon activation. Once the effects take place, the vile weapon card is then sent to the graveyard. Certain vile weapons give players the option to apply poisons to them. Poisons can only be applied during the prep phase of the controlling player's turn. The magic circle must be activated in order to use spells. Once a magic circle has successfully been activated, the magic circle card is placed on the designated position on the controlling player's side of the field. Unlike idols, grimoires, and magic weapons, circle's limit is on the card. In order to activate a magic circle, you must, 1. An allied witch must be tapped while equipped with the magic circle card. So and number 2, the controlling player must successfully roll for synchronicity. That is using, I believe, this die right here. Rolling for synchronicity is when the controlling player must attempt to guess a particular number for their 6-sided dice is going to land on before rolling. A magic circle card has 2 attributes denoted by the numeric values located on the card. Number 1 is insulation. This represents the number of times a player may attempt to roll for synchronicity when trying to activate a particular magic circle. The number of rolls allowed to a player when they are attempting to draw a card from their spell pile, if they have a magic circle card already active, and the amount of health lost by the witch that activates the particular magic circle. Number 2, duration. This represents the number of turns of a particular magic circle lasts. The duration count begins on the turn following the magic circle's activation and ascends at the beginning of each draw phase during the controlling player's turn. Upon activation of the magic circle, the witch that activated the magic circle loses health equivalent to the inflation cost of the circle. The controlling player draws a card from their spell pile. In order for, that would be this card right here. In order for that player to draw from their spell pile again, they must successfully roll for synchronicity during the various draw phases that will occur while their magic circle remains active. Once a draw phase begins, the controlling player must decide if they would rather draw from the deck or will roll for synchronicity in hopes of drawing from their spell pile. So to give you a good example of synchronicity, this is the inflation that we were talking about, and this is the duration of how long the circle will be out there. Satchel items are the only tool type that can be activated on the same turn it was equipped. Satchel items are tools that can be placed in the satchel if they are not currently equipped to a particular witch. The satchel items include the mortar and pestle and the alembic. The herbal ingredients can be placed in the satchel until they have become grounded. Elixirs last for 1 turn and are used or applied during the prep phase of the controlling player's turn. The witch that is equipped with the mortar and pestle to ground the particular herb and put the item card in your hand. Once a particular herb card has been grounded, it can no longer be placed in the satchel. It just goes to the discard pile and must remain in your hand. It stays in your hand, but then when you use them, it goes there. When you ground all the herbs required to craft a particular elixir, the witch that's equipped with the alembic, that would be this card right here, complete the crafting process. Place the herb cards you have used to craft the elixir in the graveyard, just like I did earlier. Once an elixir has been crafted, it can no longer be placed in the satchel and must remain in your hand until it is used. Note: the standard duration of a grimoire of grimoires and idols is 3 turns, while the duration of the magic circle is between 8 and 9 turns. Please note that these represent full turns. Each player has to take their portion of a turn to complete a full turn. And that's all you need to know to play Maiden Voyage. If you have any questions about this game, please put it in the comments below and I will get to them as soon as I possibly can. If you really like this game, it will be available on Kickstarter. I will share a link to the Kickstarter page on the description below. As soon as it becomes available, it's not really available as we're filming this. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit that notification bell so you know when all of our upcoming videos come along. And be on the lookout for our next video, which it will be a gameplay video. But until then, thanks for the views.